Streaming error. See, now it worked. It failed to stream and then it worked. I don't understand why. Makes no sense to me. Technology can make you nuts. Okay, welcome everyone to the Pro Trader and Plus on the Market Open. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director at 10-Minute Trades. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor. It is possible to lose money trading futures. I know. I know it's hard to get up at 5 in the morning. You don't have to apologize. We're just starting on the Market Open. Okay, we're just starting on the Market Open. So we've got MNQ 1225 on the left. MNQ's been working nicely. And we've got YM 1225 on the right. I'll look for a magnet on the YM. Looking for a VWAP, YM open, or a VWAP test before the open. Let's get that set up right now. We might be too close. We're too close. Darn it. The YM is too close. It's only 13 ticks away. It's going to test the VWAP right now. First things first, put the YM reverse continue on your chart. YM reverse continue. First things first. Reverse continue. It's up to you. Do you want to trade 2 contracts? Do you want to trade 1? Do you want to do 3? Do you want to do multi-positions? That's up to you. It's a discretionary trade. You don't have to do it the way I do it. 30-tick target. The idea is to get an opportunity on the chart so after the open or even before the open, you can enter if you want to for a scalp if you want to. You can have position 1 is 1 and position 2 is 1. Have a 10-tick target on position 1 and a 20-tick target on position 2. You could use a 2-position scalp if you want. I'm just using a 2 contract 1 position, 30-tick target, 30-tick stop on my scalp. All right, YM scalp. And you know what? You could call that scalp YM. And we know it's a reverse continue. You could call it scalp YM just to make it easy. Put it on the account you're trading on, apply it, and okay it. There's our VWAP test, right? Okay. YM market open this morning. You could do a range, right? We did a 30-second range, I thought, yesterday, didn't we? Didn't we do a 30-second range? I do believe we did a 30-second range. Or you can do a magnet. You got the low of the day and the high of the day. They're not super close, but they're not that far either. I think the high of day, low of day magnets are a good way to trade the YM this morning. So 89, 70 ticks away from the high, approximately 75 ticks. And it looks similar to the low. It's almost exact. So YM magnet, or you could do a YM range. You could do a 30-second range on the YM. Personally, I think the magnets are safer. I think they're safer. I like them better. I do like them better. The range probably has a better chance of more action. Okay, let's think about it for a minute. There's more action with a range. Our MNQ, let's put our reverse continue on. That should be the first thing you do. News trader, change it to reverse continue. MNQ, 2 or 3 contracts for a reverse continue. Let's say you do a 2 position trade. So you might go 15 ticks on your first, 40 on your second position. Break even -5 if the first target gets hit, target 1 stop move, and 75 tick stop because it's micros. That's a reverse continue. Choose the account, and you could call that MNQ scalp. Okay, we could do that to save a little time. Knowing that the scalp is a reverse continue, right? And we're on account 15. Make sure you put your chart trader on the right account. So that's our MNQ scalp. And then we have our MNQ breakout. I trade that every morning. We did get stopped on Monday. Load the template. MNQ open. MNQ open, and we have to date it properly. 1020 becomes 1021. Right click, rename 1021. Double click load, and it saves it. We're going to start our breakout at 929.59, a bracket of 30, targets of 30 and 60. You know, we said we should have bigger targets. Let's make target 2 80 ticks. BE -40 on our stop if it hits the first target, and we are 100 ticks on the stop. All right, 100 ticks on the stop. Now I am going to set the time. I'm going to save this template. I'm going to update the template. Slightly bigger targets, right? Template, save, MNQ open. Find our MNQ open template. 1021. And I'm just going to double click it. It's going to resave it if I double click it. Okay, then I'm going to put the time on 0 to look at the bracket, the width of the bracket for trade management. I know I'm on the actual chart. Sim. Okay, that's a good bracket. You got a nice VWAP magnet possibility if you don't want to trade the breakout, but we've had good, solid breakout trades on our MNQ in the mornings. So I'm going to put the time back to 9:29. Bracket is 30. Targets of 30 and 80. BE -40 if it hits the first target. Target 1 stop move, that's called. Stop is 100. Change the account to 15 so it trades in the right account. Apply it and OK it. Turn it on. Okay. Now the YM, do you want to do a 30-second range or do you want to do a YM magnet? leaning towards a short magnet. We're due for a pullback day. I think the short side is a good possibility. I think I like the magnet. What's the worst that happens? The trade doesn't trigger and maybe your MNQ works, right? As of now, our account number 15 is $600 away from being funded. 600. It's moving steadily nicely. I'm going to do the YM magnet this morning. I like that setup. High of day, low of day. Proximity is a 5. All right. And I'm going to do two positions, two contracts, one position. Stop is 35. 3 ticks before it gets to the high or before it gets to the low would be my target. That's the default. Stop is 35. I'm just thinking if I just want to be conservative this morning and trade just one contract, I'm going to trade one contract. I'm going to be conservative. Magnet, high of day, low of day. Proximity's 5, so watch what happens when we turn it on. Choosing the account. All right, YM magnet. Label it. Apply it. Okay, when you turn the magnet on, the orders show up near the high and near the low. The real fill at the top should be above the 6 p.m. open. The problem is it doesn't give you very much room for profit. Now down here, if we start moving down and getting ready to test the low, my sell is 833. It's 21 ticks. It's 21 ticks. So it's 18 because it's 21 minus 3. It's not that big. Not that big a profit. We're kind of in the middle of both highs and lows, and we're only down 25 on the day. We're not, horribly negative. Certainly not a guarantee that we're going to get there. Let me get my stream on my laptop working. Is anybody here? Yes, no, I meant on my stream too. All right, we got about 6.5 minutes, folks. 6.5 minutes. Then we will be back for Netflix, right? We will be back at 3:30 for Netflix. What I'll probably do is trade the close, trade the 1550 close. Calvin, how your 1550s? They've been okay. I trade them every now and then. Netflix at 3:30. I don't stick around for API anymore. That trade just isn't working. I wouldn't trade it right now. All you have to do is look at the DMM. If if you're if you look at the DMM on API, right? Can you in good conscience trade the API if that's what the DMM looks like? Are you going to trade that? If you trade that with real money, then you should not be a trader because there's something wrong with your judgment. Unless you say, oh, it hasn't worked in so long, I think it's a probability it's going to work. I could accept that, but you got to say that. You can't just trade the DMM because there's a setup. You better be trading it and have a good reason to trade it, right? Otherwise, it's not making any sense. Trading's not like politics where you could just make something up and think it's true. You'll get your head handed to you if you do that. All right, so the question is, are we going to get a test of the low on both instruments? Is the MNQ going to burst down on the open? It looks like it is. Make sure everything is set up right. So all the trades should be taking place in our market open account. Our chart trader should be on the market open account, and it is. No one told me my charts were on sim. I do a BE minus 40 on, oh, I don't use market moves to my MNQ, not on a two contract setup, Rod. I'd never use that on a two contract setup. Why? Why would you? Because your second target is if the market moves. Your first target is if the market moves, you're going to have a profit, right? That's the reason we use it because when in a one contract trade, you don't have that first target. So you're kind of simulating it with the if the market moves. You can use it. I mean, you can use it in any trade, especially if your targets are huge. If you want to use huge targets, then you can use it. There's no law. It would make total sense to use it, but it has to be the right scenario. 3 minutes. So I watch a very interesting YouTube channel called The Wings of Pegasus. And it's this young guy who's really smart. And he analyzes artists, performers, bands that are playing live. People write in and they say, I think David Gilmour isn't really singing. I think he's using auto tune and he's using recorded tracks at his live shows. Now, if they don't tell you they're doing that, it's a complete ripoff. If you go to see Paul McCartney and he's not really singing, even though he can't sing anymore, that's no one cares. It would be a ripoff if they were using tapes. Well, this Wings of Pegasus channel He has equipment that analyzes. It's very easy. It's not, science is science. People might think science doesn't exist anymore, but it does. You can use audio analysis to determine if an artist is really singing because you can compare waveforms. It's a fascinating channel. You would not believe all the artists that are using auto tune, which means, they can't sing in tune anymore. Now, you could still sing live and use auto tune. It's a processor and it plugs into the signal. In other words, it goes in between the microphone and your speakers. It's so that your audio, your mic, your singing goes into the processor. Auto tune works on your voice and then it comes out the speakers. So you could sing live and use auto tune. You can almost always tell when auto tune is being used. What a big change in tone we have going here on the YM. Do you want to get filled long now? I mean, the question is, do you want to put the trade on automatic or do you want to wait a couple of seconds before the news comes out, before the open? I don't think it's going to go there yet. Look at that VWAP magnet on the MNQ. See why I like magnets? That was a VWAP magnet on the MNQ. So I'm very curious to see what happens on our YM this morning. This is a strange one, huh? A little bit strange. Is the YM going to go test the high? Is the MNQ going to test the low? I don't know. The market open is extremely nerve-wracking, isn't it? It's a nerve-wracking trade. So we got an immediate, we said it was a small trade on the YM. The magnet YM was very small, right? We said that. We said that. MNQ, I'm moving my target all the way down to the low. And I'll do my usual crazy trailing. Try not to get stopped out, but it always gets me. It always gets me. I think it's going to test the low. What do you think? I'll do a little scalp. I'll do a little scalp. I hate to give it back. I always hate to give it back. All right, so we got a scalp. It reversed really quick. Made about an extra $14 on that scalp. I think it's going to hit the low. I think it's going to hit the low. The YM, we got our scalp. I'm going to probably leave the YM alone. These are, you know, the NQ looks like it's going to test that low. Do you want to take one more trade or do you want to take your $100 and go home? You know, I think I'm taking my 100. The MNQ still works. Here comes the test of the low. It's going to do it. It's going to do it. It's going to do it without me this morning. I thought that that was going to be the trade. So next time I'm going to not move my stop so aggressively. I'm going to move it less aggressive and wait. Be a little more patient. Not to have to take four trades, but to just stay in that second trade longer. If we would have stayed in that second trade longer, maybe you'd be taken out now, but you would have had more profit. It would have had more profit. That was a long trade, Frank. That was a long trade. I don't know why the market would freeze on that, Nitin. It just wasn't even moving that fast, you know? So that's our open. It was a winner. It was a winner. Uh, you got frozen also, Roz? That's crazy. I don't know why these markets sometimes, why the data sometimes freezes. They always blame it on Ninja Trader. I would, if you recorded it, I'd send the video to Ninja and ask them why. I want to know why. I want a reason. I want a reason. What are they going to? They're saying, oh, you're not supposed to trade the open? That's their comeback? Don't trade the open? Come on. People trade the open. I know it seems like a waste of life. They always say the same thing. What's the point of following it up? They never take responsibility and they never will. Never. Never. And you sign away your rights to make them take responsibility when you sign up for a brokerage account. It's just the way it is. If you don't like the rules, don't play. So if you trade the open, sometimes it's going to freeze. If you trade the close, sometimes it's going to freeze. It's frustrating. It's frustrating on a morning like today when the market movement, just didn't seem like a freezing kind of market. It just didn't seem that crazy. Nitin, you don't seem so devastated about the Marlins. I mean, about the Mariners. I would have been devastated. I know. I'm still devastated about the Phillies. It's been more than a week, and every day I get angrier and angrier that our manager and our GM do not have accountability. And I blame it on the owner. The owner lets them do it. He keeps them employed, so we can expect the same crap every year from this team. Choke in the playoffs, dumb, idiotic, moron moves by the manager, especially with pitchers. The manager is a dope. For real, he's a dope. He's afraid of his own shadow. One thing about Toronto's manager, they had their starting pitcher pitching in the eighth inning, and he was kicking butt. He kicked the Mariners' butt. You can't be afraid of your own shadow. You got to manage to win. You don't manage to bunt, manage to tie. I would have fired our manager 3 years ago when he used Craig Kimbrell 2 games in a row. He blew the first game. You don't bring him back for the second game unless you're an idiot. It's just that simple. All right. I don't know what you can say. YouTube, thank you for joining us. We made money on the market open. Gold open was tough. Oil open has been good. We made money on the oil open. Oil moves better than gold on the open, but there are opportunities all around these markets in the morning. If you learn how to do the magnets, I think those are the keys. Our YM magnet worked in a minute. It just wasn't a big profit because it entered pretty close to the target. We could have entered earlier. We could have entered earlier. All right? The key is make sure you know how to do the magnets. Make sure you know. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Let me stop the stream. I'm sure we have a bunch more streams this week. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up for us if you would. And I'll see everybody